Alright, bro. This is probably gonna be like a very controversial video that I might make, but screw it, bro. It's my opinion. So, wherever I put these champions, bro, don't be mad at me, man. Hey, at the end, it is my opinion. So, of course, we're gonna be ignoring this title because I had to change it just for this video. But in my personal opinion, I'm gonna be ranking champions who I think are overrated, perfectly rated, or underrated. So let's start with freaking Abomination. Yeah, he's perfectly rated. Like he's pretty much like he has that one rate Guardian synergy that makes him like actually decent on offense. But otherwise, Age of Venom, similar things where like by himself he's not that good, but with the synergy he's pretty good. Angela, yeah, I say underrated for sure. Definitely underrated in terms of like if we're comparing her for like the Cosmic class. I say she's definitely underrated. This guy perfectly rated. I mean, who the hell uses this dude on offense? He's mainly a defender. I forgot to add, right? This is mainly based on like offensive point of view. Like this is basically from like an offensive point of view, right? So I'm looking at all these champions from an offensive point of view. Like when you use them on offense as opposed to defense, because if I was to try to rank them on like if they're overrated or underrated in terms of their defensive capabilities, then like yeah, all these placements would be literally different as hell. So obviously, this is basically going to be from an offensive standpoint. So I'm just pointing that out as a disclaimer. Ant-Man. I think he's perfect. I mean, he's not overrated for sure, but when I see he's underrated, or he's perfectly rated, I guess in comparison to like the Cosmics, right? If we were to compare him against not Cosmic, what am I talking about? I mean Science. If we were to compare him against other Science champions, then low-key, yes, he's probably perfectly rated. Because, again, why would I use him over someone like, I don't know, why would I use him over someone like She-Hulk or Deathless She-Hulk or Photon, Quicksilver, like those Science champs? Like, why would I use him over Spider-Ham, So I think he's perfectly rated in the fact that, like, again, he's not going to be your top number one pick in the Science class unless you love Ant-Man like that. Then Archangel, definitely perfectly rated. He's fantastic. Don't know how he's underrated or overrated, but he's perfectly rated for sure. This dude's perfectly rated. Who the fuck uses Beast? Kingpin. I kind of think he's a slightly bit overrated. I ain't gonna lie. Me personally, I kind of find him a bit overrated. I just think there are better skill champions than him, like Kate Bishop. Yeah, and Kate Bishop. And Shang-Chi. I think I like him. I like him more than like Kingpin. But yeah, I just think he's a bit overrated personally. So I don't really like him like that. Bishop. Overrated. I guess he's slightly overrated because I don't like the fact that he's crit reliant on his SP2s, right? Because in order to hit them big crits, bro, you literally need to have good crit chance with this guy. So, like, I don't know. I do think he's a bit overrated on offense just because of the fact that, like, he's one of those champions where, like, if you don't crit, you're not going to do that much big damage. And, of course, this dude is perfectly rated because who the hell uses Black Ball in 2025? Black Panther, I say perfectly rated. He had a good buff, too. Perfectly rated who uses Black Widow. Probably, I feel like a few people are going to say he's underrated for sure. Even though I personally think he's perfectly rated because I don't use Blade myself, but again, it depends on who you ask type of thing. Where it's like depends who you ask because Blade lovers will say he's underrated, but I think for me personally, I say he's perfectly rated as he is because again, comparison to like Crossbones, Shang-Chi, Shang-Chi, Kate Bishop, or Kingpin. Why would you use Blade over them? You know what I'm saying? That's why I think he's perfectly rated. This dude's definitely underrated for sure. I personally love Iron Man Infinity War. I think he's definitely underrated on attack sometimes. Because, again, it's like that argument where, like, there's other tech champions that could do it, that could take fights faster than he can. So, like, it makes a lot of sense why he's underrated low-key. But for me, I think he's underrated. Like, I love Iron Man. Like, he's a great character. This dude's perfectly rated. Who the hell uses Winter Soldier even though he got buffed? He has a good synergy with APOC. And there's another good synergy that gives him degen. So like technically with the Apex injury, he's kind of underrated because he does do like good damage over time debuff damage. But again, if we're talking about without synergies, then yes, he's kind of garbage without synergy. So I put him perfectly rated just simply because I'm looking at it without synergies on offense. This dude, I mean, no explanation, garbage. I'll put you in there as well. This man, overrated for me personally. Like, the amount of glaze I see for Captain America Infinity War, bro, is, like, insane. Because, like, why the hell do people still have this dude in top 10 science champs in Big 2025? Genuinely. Like, bro, he's like one of those types of characters where, like, if he doesn't crit, then, like, you do low damage. So he's a bit crit reliant. And like, me personally, I don't like crit reliant champions. So, like, y'all gonna start noticing a theme where, like, I put certain champions that are, like, rely on critical damage. I'm probably going to put them in overrated, so just letting you know. But again, that's it. This guy, overrated as hell. I do not understand like why people put him why people put him in top 10. I personally always thought he was overrated, so that's just me. Maybe slightly underrated. I mean, there's like better cosmics in her, but I don't know. I'll probably say maybe underrated for now. I mean, she's garbage, so who uses her? I've seen Carnage do some crazy stuff from Allison edits, I ain't gonna lie. He can do kind of crazy stuff, so I could probably see him being underrated, kind of. I say he's somewhat underrated, because he kind of low-key is slept on. Because I've seen the 7-star ranked B Carnage do some crazy stuff. I'm kind of impressed with this, so yeah. This guy, definitely perfectly rated. Again, there's better tech champions than him, so who uses him? Claire. I kind of think she's a bit overrated, personally. I do think she's a bit overrated. Because I think there's better... It's just the argument that, like, there's better mystics. That's why. I just personally think there's better mystics. Hence, I think she's a bit overrated, personally. So, yeah. Colossus... I mean... I'll put him there for now, because... He's one of those characters, again, that are crit reliant on damage. Because he's kind of like all offense, no defense type of character. But even then, again, that doesn't matter because I'm bringing all these champions in terms of their offense capabilities. But even still, I think Colossus is a bit overrated for sure. Corvus is perfectly rated. He's fine. I actually like Crossbones. I just recently got a 7-star rank 1 Crossbone like a week ago. I started using him. He's actually pretty good. I think like in terms of like comparing him to the rest of the skill class, he's definitely not underrated. So he's perfectly rated. I don't really care about this guy. I don't really know much about him, so probably perfectly rated. This dude's getting a buff. Like if we're talking about pre-buff Cyclops, this nigga's he's definitely perfectly rated. Cause right now, currently, as I'm recording this video, he's garbage. But once his buff comes out, hopefully he's probably gonna be perfectly rated. I mean, what am I talking about? Only when his buff comes out, he's gonna be God tier, and then he'll probably be perfectly rated. This guy's definitely perfectly rated. Of course, trash, doesn't have his buff. This guy's definitely perfectly rated for me, in my opinion, because I'm not really impressed by any gameplay from him. Plus, I think he definitely needs another buff because he's kind of underwhelming. So, yeah, this guy's perfectly rated. Nothing going on for him. Darkhawk, perfectly rated. Again, there's better tech. Plus, again, I've seen gameplay and not really impressed. Diablo, probably underrated in terms of the rest of the Mystic class, I'd say. He's definitely underrated for sure. Yeah, I don't really care about Doctor Strange. This dude's garbage. People often talk about like the 12.0 nerf about this guy. I'm like, I don't think I was there to experience it, so I wouldn't know. Domino, perfectly rated. She's fine. Doom. Ooh, okay, I don't know where I put Doom. He's not underrated, but I do think, for me, Doom is like one of those characters where like a lot of people have hype for him, but I just think there's better. I personally think there's better Mystics than Doom for me. Hence why I do find him a tad bit overrated. I think he's a little bit overrated just because I think they're better, in my opinion. Because I think like Doom's time right now has been passed, because right now we have like better Mystics that I feel like could do better than he can. But like again, he's probably gonna be like one of those types of characters that like for like probably for like people that are like veterans of the game. Like if you're like the type of guys that like old ass champions, then like Doom's probably your type of character. So like probably the people with nostalgia are gonna love Doom, or like the old ass people that play this game are gonna love this guy. But at least for me, otherwise, I find him a bit overrated. Not gonna lie, he's perfectly rated. He needs a buff. Plus he's garbage. He's fantastic. He got buffed. He's perfectly rated as he is. Dude needs a buff. He's not good. I guess he's. I mean, yeah, I don't really care about Maul. He's perfectly rated. I mean, he did get buffed, but even then, he's still a defender at the end of the day. This dude, he has a synergy with like Spider Supreme, I think. I don't know. Like, wait, what's his name called again? Let's go see. Spider Supreme. Is that his name? I think he has synergy with this Spider-Man Supreme. Yeah, he has a synergy with this guy for sure. But otherwise, like again, who the hell uses Electro on offense? Because most of the time, majority of the time, like you can use him on defense and battlegrounds. So, because I want to say underrated in defense, I say he's definitely underrated on defense. But otherwise, he's perfectly rated just because of the fact that like he's garbage. Electra perfectly rated. Who the hell uses Electra? I will say maybe slightly underrated. Slightly underrated. Because I've used her myself. And I kind of do like her. I do somewhat like her. I kind of like her. So I might put her underrated. Slightly underrated. Although I do think she's kind of also perfectly rated. Because she has kind of a cult following where like there's like a few. There's only like 3 Elsa Bloodstone players in MCOC. So I don't know. But I think for now I'll put her underrated. Emma. I definitely say she's underrated. Because, yeah, there are definitely better mutants than her. But, again, from the gameplay I've seen, I say she's definitely underrated, for sure. Like, she has a lot of immunities, too. So, she kind of gives Iceman a bang for his buck, if you think about it. This dude, I do not like Falcon. He's kind of boring to me. So, but otherwise, I wouldn't say he's overrated. Well, I still think I won't put him. I probably won't say he's overrated. Like I don't know. It's hard to see. It's hard for me to know where I would put Falcon at. Because there are definitely a few people that think Falcon is like top 10 skill, which I disagree with. But I think right now I say he's perfectly rated. I can see him being a bit overrated though. Gambit, yeah, you already know he relies on critical damage. He relies on crit chance. So yeah, you know I have to put him overrated. I'm sorry. Gamora, perfectly rated. I actually like Gamora. She's cool. Ghost is definitely maybe nowadays underrated. I guess. In comparison to the tech class, nowadays she's underrated. Nowadays she is. But like years ago, she was not underrated. But I think nowadays, compared to the tech classes that be releasing, the tech champions, she's probably in the underrated tier nowadays. This dude is perfectly rated. Nobody uses Gopool. I say perfectly rated. He's usually used for long form content, so it makes sense where he belongs. This dude definitely perfectly rated. He needs a buff. Nobody uses him. Of course, Groot not underrated, perfectly rated. Who the hell uses Groot in 2025? Unironically, unless you're a big fan of the character. Guillotine, rated or underrated? I don't know. Maybe probably underrated, but you know, I don't know. I'll probably put her underrated. Maybe maybe she might be underrated. I actually don't know where to put her. I might make another like tier. I'm like, I don't know. Guillotine, definitely perfectly rated. Again, not like, I mean, I think she got buffed right, but even then, of course, there's better mystics, so hence I think she's perfectly rated. Gladiator Hulk, there's probably gonna be a few Gladiator fans that say he's definitely underrated. But like I said, I've seen gameplay of him. I'm not really too impressed. So like, I think he's perfectly rated where he's at. She is, in comparison to the skill class, I say perfectly rated. If we're comparing her to the rest of the skill, she's perfectly rated in the sense that like she's not really in the top 10 for me. This dude, Havoc, I say perfectly rated. I used Havoc before. He's definitely one of those characters that are also crit reliant. But then again, the only okay for Havoc, I'll make an exception for Havoc, mainly because his SP3 hits hard. Because even though it's about the fact that he's crit reliant for SP2, at least his SP3 he can hit hard on his SP3. So at least his SP3 you don't need crits on SP3. Hence why he's different from someone like Gambit and Colossus. So I make an exception for him. Because otherwise, if he did not have big SP3 damage, he'd definitely be overrated. I'll tell you that. This dude, definitely underrated, I guess. I don't know. I mean, the only person that probably overrates this dude is like Nagase. But even then, I don't know. Because I've seen the gameplay. Like, he has decent damage. I think otherwise I put him perfectly rated. This dude needs a buff. So who the hell uses this guy unironically? In comparison to the Cosmic Champions, I would definitely say she's perfectly rated. I have seen her high. She has high damage ceiling though, but it definitely requires skill, for sure. This dude in comparison to the Tech Champions he's definitely underrated for sure in comparison to Tech. Same with Hulkbuster, definitely underrated. Hulk is perfectly rated where he's at. Fantastic buff. He's a pretty good science. This dude's perfectly rated. Fantastic science champion. Definitely a good Mystic Slayer. Nah, definitely gonna piss a lot of people off with this, but in my opinion, I think Hyperion's overrated. I personally do not like Hyperion that much. Like, look. I just think he's overrated for me personally, because I see the gameplay. I'll agree on this. He does good damage. I will agree. He does good damage. He has poison immunity. But the only reason I say he's overrated is because I just simply think there's better Cosmic Champs. Like, when I see people's tier list, there be people that put Hyperion in the top 10. I'm just over here like, bro, I disagree. Because how the hell do you put Hyperion in the top 10? But how can you unironically tell me that Hyperion is better than someone like, I don't know, Superior Iron Man, or freaking Null, or Adam Warlock, freaking Vox, Serpent, five Cosmics right there, Scream, like, bro, Death is Thanos even out. Like, how the hell do people put this dude in the top 10 for Cosmics? Like, what? He's not in the top 10. I could definitely see honorable mention, but like, generally, I don't think Hyperion is look, Hyperion is good. I see the gameplay. He has good damage. I just think there's better Cosmics. That's it. Like, I guess in a sense, I only put him overrated just because of the fact that like, he's not that much better than like all the Cosmic Champs. He's good as his own individual character, right? As an individual champion, he's good. But I don't think he's all that as people make him out to be. I don't think he's all that. And plus, he's a little bit crit reliant on his SP2 damage too, considering the fact that like his big damage comes from like he applies armor break on his SP2, and his SP1 has Incinerate, right? But like, if you're using an SP2 and you're like doing heavies and trying to get a bunch of Furies, right? You low-key need that, like, you low-key need the crit on the SP2 to do big damage. I ain't gonna lie. But nonetheless, yeah, I'm probably imagining they'll piss like a lot of people off with that Hyperion one, because like, I bet you like nostalgia players will like be mad as hell for this one. And the thing is, I know how to play Hyperion, so you can't really say shit against me, because I know how to play the dude. I just don't like him. That's it. Well, it's not I don't like him. I just think he's not all that. That's it. Alright, moving on. Iceman. I personally love Iceman. I love Iceman, but like, using him without synergies kind of sucks, because he kind of sucks without synergies. I'm not gonna lie. Otherwise, perfectly rated. As much as I love him, he's perfectly rated for me. I do think some people will tell you he's underrated in the mutants, but there's definitely better mutants released than him. So for now, perfectly rated. This dude's garbage. Plus, he's rare to get. Allison Edis would probably tell you she's underrated. If Allison Edis was making a tier list like this, she would probably tell you Invisible Woman's underrated. But me personally, she's perfectly rated. I don't. I've seen gameplay with her, right? And like, she kind of has high damage ceiling as long as you like play skillfully. But like, as an individual champion, like, again, why would you use her over like champions like Hulk, Photon, Nefaria? Yeah. So this guy rated again garbage. Nobody uses him. Same thing for this guy. Same thing for Jane. Even though she got buffed, I would probably say he's underrated. Yeah, I definitely say he's underrated in the science champ for sure. He's not bad. He's pretty good. Has pretty good utility. This dude's definitely pretty rated. I would love to see a buff for this guy. Like I would love to see Kabam buff this guy. Like please, please. Alright, Juggernauts. He's perfectly rated. I like Jugs. I could probably see him being overrated though, but nonetheless, I like Jugs. I could definitely see him being overrated though for sure. Kamala, she's pretty much. I mean, the only person I know that likes this chick is like Sweeta, but even then, yeah. This dude, he could cook with some synergies. Like he has a decent synergy that could allow him to cook, but otherwise, again, who the hell uses this dude unironically? Karnak, perfectly rated. Killmonger, in terms of offense, yeah, perfectly rated. This dude kind of underrated, I'd say. Yeah, definitely underrated compared to Cosmics. This dude is perfectly rated. He has good synergies though that could boost up his offense, but otherwise, without synergies, he's pretty underwhelming. Loki, perfectly rated. No explanations there. Pretty much garbage champ. Needs a buff. Magic. I wouldn't say she's. I don't know. I don't think she's overrated. I think she's just perfectly rated. Maybe underrated, I guess. But the problem with her, she's only 5-star locked. So I don't know. For now, I'll probably say perfectly rated. This dude, perfectly rated. Perfectly rated. Well, maybe I could say under. Well, I could probably put these two underrated. But then again, I don't think like. I guess the problem with them is that they're kind of slow. That's it. Cause like you kind of do need to do like the parry heavy playstyle with this guy. And I don't know about. And I don't know. I have him, but like, I never knew how to do his optimal rotation. So I guess you can maybe argue underrated, but nah. This dude, definitely perfectly rated. Masakure, probably underrated nowadays, I'd say. Probably underrated, yeah. Medusa, fantastic buff. She's perfectly fine where she is. Fantastic. Perfectly rated. Alright, Mephisto. He's definitely not good offensively. He's mainly on defense type of character. So, Miles, he's not really all that. You could probably maybe underrated. You could probably be underrated if you're biased. But, he's not really all that. This guy, slightly overrated. Because similar with Hyperion, where it's like I've seen a gameplay of him, but he doesn't really impress me. That's it. Like I've seen him in terms of offensive use, and like he doesn't really impress me that much. So I think he's a bit overrated, just because like in terms of his offensive gameplay, he's not really that impressive to me. Okay, Sinister, fantastic buff, fantastic. No words for him. Oh yeah, we're starting to get through here. Okay. MODOK, perfectly rated. Moon Knight, perfectly rated. Mordo. Yeah, he's perfectly rated. There's probably gonna be a few people that kind of overrate him, but like again, he's one of those ones where like I think there's better Mystic champions. Let's see. Morningstar, definitely perfectly rated. She needs a buff. She's garbage. Maybe-ish, maybe, but I don't know. I don't really know if I feel comfortable with him underrated, but maybe I'll stay. He's somewhat underrated, I guess. Somewhat, I'd probably say Neymar's somewhat underrated. Her, perfectly rated. Nick Fury, I personally think he's a bit overrated. Yeah, I find Nick Fury overrated because, again, he's one of those. Again, I've seen gameplay from him. I use him myself, and again, he doesn't really impress me. That's it. Like I think most of the characters in overrated here are either like ones that like they're either the ones that I don't like that require a crit chance to deal big damage, or I'm not really impressed by their offensive gameplay for what I see. Because again, I see the gameplay I see the gameplay in terms of their offensive use, but I'm not really impressed. Because it's either I think there's better champions that deal better damage, or I just don't really like their way they deal the damage personally. So yeah, he's definitely underrated nowadays for sure. Perfectly rated. Nightcrawler is for sure nowadays underrated. Like, he got buffed like what, a year ago or two? He got buffed, but dude, he fell off so quick. It's crazy how quickly this dude fell off. He does do damage though, but Jesus Christ, bro, he had a fall off. Like, it's crazy how far this dude fell off after he got buffed. Old Man Logan, perfectly rated though. Omega Red. Nowadays, sure. But, because nobody really wants to use him anymore. He's either rated perfectly or he's either underrated. It's kind of like depends on who you ask. Some people think he's underrated, or some people think he's perfectly rated as he is. So, I don't know. Rated or underrated? I don't know. I think perfectly rated for now. This dude, I mean, in comparison to Tech, I say he's perfectly rated. Because again, there's better Tech champions than Doc Ock. I mean, better Cosmics than her. Luke Cage, probably underrated. I'd say, yeah, he's underrated. Like in terms of not Cosmic. In terms of the science class, I definitely say he's definitely underrated. Yeah, I would say that for sure. Perfectly rated. Like, she has, like, there's so many better Cosmic champs than her. She is definitely perfectly rated. She needs a buff. This guy, yeah, you could probably say he's underrated for sure. Perfectly rated. He needs a buff. Plus, nobody uses this dude on ironically unless you're a fan of him. Now, her, I'm gonna put quick overrated simply because, bro, the amount of, like, with Quake, there's so many better science champions than her, but yet for some reason, bro, there's a lot of people that will never let her go. Like, she's one of those ones where, like, if you're putting her in your if you're putting her in your top 10 science champion tier list in Big 2025, bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro, I think you might be blinded by nostalgia. Cause look, I've used Quake myself as well. Like, way before I played, like, years ago when I played this game back in like 2017, 2016, I've used Quake myself. And like, I liked her. She was cool. It's just my main beef with her is the fact that, like, it's just only because it's like my only main beef with her is that, like, she's cool as a champion. It's just there's just certain people that still can't let her go. Like, it's just only the people that swear that, like, she's still like the top tier science champion. And another problem with her is that she's a 5-star as well. She's locked as a 5-star. Same thing with not Quake. Same thing with Magic. She's 5-star locked. But regardless of that, I find her overrated. I just find her overrated in terms of, like, how popular she is. Because I think otherwise she might just be, like, if it wasn't for some people that swear she's, like, top 10 or top 5 science, she would definitely be perfectly rated. But for now, I put her an overrated. I'm not gonna lie. I have to put her on overrated. Again, I have a feeling like these, no, not him. I think Doom, Hyperion, Nick Fury, and Quake will probably get a lot of people mad. Or maybe even some for, like, Captain America. But I think particularly Quake, Nick Fury, Doom, I think particularly those three or Hyperion will probably make a lot of people mad if they see this tier list. Alright, damn, we got a lot to go through. Red Hulk, perfectly rated. Maybe underrated if you have nostalgia bias, but Red Skull, I personally find him overrated. Where the hell did he go? Wait, where the hell did I just pull Red Skull? Hold on. Oh, right here, okay. Yeah, Red Skull, I personally think he's overrated. I seen the gameplay from him, like, he got buffed. He's good on defense, but offensive-wise, I'm not really impressed. Like, gameplay I've seen him in terms of offense, I'm not really impressed by, like, how good he is offensively. That's just the reason why he's overrated. I personally find him overrated. I'm just not really impressed with the gameplay I've seen of him. So yeah, that's just it. This dude is garbage. I would say maybe underrated. He kind of underrated. There's definitely a lot more better text, but maybe underrated, I'd say. This dude kind of also underrated for sure. He has good offense. He's very squishy he's very, very squishy though, so you have to be careful when using him and taking block damage. She's definitely perfectly rated. This dude, perfectly rated for sure. Allison Edith's favorite champion, or one of her favorite champions. She would definitely put him in underrated, but yeah, I think he's perfectly rated. This dude is definitely perfectly rated. Scarlet Witch. Yeah, perfectly rated. Perfectly rated. Yeah. This dude, I ain't gonna lie, for me, overrated. Overrated. I'm never really a fan of Sentinel. He's again one of those types of characters where like I see the gameplay of him, but I'm not really impressed overall though. Because again, I think there's better techs. Plus, he's not really that difficult to fight on defense. If you have characters that can, like, I don't know, just hit hard. Because I think a lot of people are kind of overestimating his value on defense. Because all he is like, he's very tanky, and that's it. But otherwise, yeah, he's just one of those characters where, like, I'm not impressed by the gameplay I've seen on him. So, again, yeah, that's why he's overrated for me. Sentry, for sure, underrated. Sentry is super underrated. A lot of people don't fuck with this guy because he's a long-form ramp-up champion. And, like, he takes a while to get going. But honestly, he's not even that bad. Like, people complain about how long he takes to ramp up. But, like, me personally, he's not that bad, though. Like, he's not that bad. Like, bro, he's fantastic for questing. Like, literally any content outside of backgrounds, he's fantastic for. Like, I don't get why people... Like, people complain about the ramp. That's it. Like, he's not that hard to ramp up. Like, you can literally gain multiple reality warps in one fight. And he literally gains one reality warp when you win a fight, too. So, like, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get the hate for this guy. Like, he's actually not bad. Like, a lot of people are hating this dude. But, like, I personally like him. Like, he's underrated for sure. Alright, moving on. This dude, Silver Surfer. Yeah, I mean, I could kind of see him also being underrated. But I think he's perfectly rated. Gwen, perfectly rated. Perfectly rated. Star-Lord. In terms of offense-wise, I think he kind of be underrated because he does have a high damage ceiling. But then again, he has, like, solo utility, and that's it. So, yeah. This dude, fantastic. I love this guy. She's definitely fantastic. Perfectly rated. I firstly find him overrated, though. I'm not gonna lie. He has good damage. I will not lie. I've seen gameplay. Fantastic damage. But I think they're just better mutant champs. That's it. Like, in terms of, like, comparison to mutant champs, I think there's better. Like, there's a lot like, there are other better mutant champions in Sunspot, personally. Hence why I think he's just a tad bit overrated. Because he's just all offense, and that's it, basically. But again, I never really liked him to begin with, either. Because I acknowledge he does do good damage. He has great damage, but I don't know. That's just all there is to him. Like, I just think there's better mutants. That's it. Like, he's one of those characters where, like, I don't get why he's in the top 10. Because, like, all he is just damage. But, like, where's the utility, you know? Superior Iron Man, fantastic buff. Love this guy. Perfectly rated. This dude, probably underrated nowadays. I think Legacy, like, shit, Legacy would probably put him underrated for sure. Taskmaster, perfectly rated. I don't use that guy. Perfectly rated. Thanos, he needs a buff. These two need a buff. This dude, from what I've seen from Suida, I'd probably put him underrated just because of what I've seen from Suida. From Suida's gameplay of him, I see he's probably underrated, maybe. Hood, yeah, definitely underrated in the Mystic class, I'd say. Thing, I think he's perfectly rated. I could also see him being underrated for if we're comparing him against Science Champs, but I think he fits there. Thor, he fits there. Thor Ragnarok fits there. Lab Ultron, I would love to see this dude get a buff. I want to see him get a buff. Please give this dude a buff soon. This dude, he's perfectly rated. He's pretty good. Unstoppable Colossus, this dude's garbage. Venom, I mean, not Venom. What's dude? Venom, Howard the Venom, whatever. I don't know. Whatever. This dude is definitely perfectly rated. I know. What's his name? Brian Grant loves this guy. Venom. Venom is weird because I I wouldn't. I don't know because he is kind of overrated to me because he's kind of like all offense and that's it. But I don't know. I might put him in maybe underrated. No, I wouldn't say he's underrated. I think he's just perfectly rated. Yeah, I think he's fine where that is. Because I can see the argument being overrated too. Because there are some people that think he's better than like majority of the Cosmics. I'm like, he's like one of those characters where like I don't see how he could be in the top 10 unless you just love the character Venom. That's it. Like unless you have personal bias for him. Venom Pool, yeah, definitely perfectly rated. Vision Arcus perfectly rated. Perfectly rated. Vision, both of them are perfectly rated. Void, I think he's overrated on offense. On offense, overrated. I don't get why people put him like. He's one of those characters again. I don't understand why he's in the top 10. Like genuinely, because he has good utility. He has great debuffs. He's good on defense. But in terms of offense, how the fuck is this dude in top 10 science class for offense? I don't get it. Cause where's the damage? Like this dude has like no damage. But yet people put him in like the top 10 science. And even honorable mentions. I'm like, bro, he should not be that high up there. Generally, in my opinion. Like I think he's very overrated on offense. When it comes to certain people that put him like in the top 10 list. Alright, Voodoo, perfectly rated Vulture, Warlock. Yeah, I'm getting people mad for this one. I personally think Warlock is overrated. I think there's just better tech champions in my opinion. I just think he's overrated for me personally. I personally find him overrated. I just think there's better tech champs. Not to mention his damage is kind of lacking unless you have him at like a 7-star rank 3. But anything below that is like if you have him like at least at like below like 6-star. Like if your Warlock is not at least 6-star rank 5 ascended, then like yeah, you're gonna be doing low damage. So like he's also kind of like star and rank up dependent for the damage because like you want him at higher rarity or higher rank for more damage. But otherwise, I personally think he's overrated. Me personally, because again, I don't really get what people see in him in terms of offensive use. Because yeah, like he has good utility and able to shut down like ability accuracy. Like he can affect like what is it, offensive ability accuracy or defensive. But yeah, regardless of that. Again, he's one of those ones where like I don't understand what people see in him. That's it. Wasp, definitely rated for sure. If this was Allison Edis, she'd probably put her underrated. This dude, with synergies, definitely underrated. With synergies, he's underrated. But without synergies, however, he's perfectly rated. So if we're to take, I'm probably gonna take into account without synergies. Like let's say this is all without synergies. Like we're just looking at these characters without their synergies, how he perform on offense without synergies. Because without synergies, he's low key just average. Like he's just mediocre. Same thing with her, mediocre. Yellow Jacket, yeah, definitely perfectly rated. Allison Edits would probably put him underrated, but he's perfectly rated. What's his name? Trappy MCOC would probably put this dude underrated, but I think he's definitely I'll probably put him overrated just because of Trappy, because this man Trappy do be overrating this dude. Cause like bro, there's so many better Cosmics than freaking Nova. But I think otherwise he's perfectly rated. What's her name? Squirrel Girl? Yeah, probably. Yeah, definitely perfectly rated. She needs a buff. Long shot, fantastic champion. Mojo. Not really a fan of him personally. So like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't really care. I don't know. I was never really a fan of Mojo. Okay. What's this dude? What's this guy's name again? Moman. Moman? Yeah, I say underrated. Like, yeah, he's definitely underrated compared to like the other skill champs. Terrax, definitely perfectly rated. She is I think this is Sorcerer Supreme. She might be. I don't know. I wouldn't say underrated. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I did use her in like the Heimdall fight for what was it? It was no, I don't. I forgot. It was like a Paragon fight or whatever. Like agony of suffering, agony of pain, something like that. I think she's just perfectly rated. She is overrated. Again, she's just similar to like Colossus, Gambit. Similar to like Colossus, Gambit, and Sunspot. She relies on crit damage. I mean crit chance, not crit damage. She relies on crit chance to do big numbers, and I don't like that. So, of course, I'm putting her overrated because of that. I don't need to explain more. I'll say underrated for sure. This dude, I ain't gonna lie, he's fun to play when you get the legendary or no, not the legendary. What are the cards called? I forgot. What are his purple parts called? Hold on. I forgot. What are those purple cards he could do? Hold on. So you'll see. Where is it, dude? Platinum pool, yeah. Hold on. What card does he summon? I forgot. There's like that one card he has. The epic cards. Yeah. This one, I think. Yeah, the epic cards. Yeah, when you when you can get his epic cards, he's kind of fun to play. Like for me, Deadpool is like not Deadpool. Platinum pool is actually fun for me to play. I can't lie. Like I think he's low-key fun for me to play. So he has to be perfectly rated. Cause otherwise, if all they just did was just let this dude have like epic cards, he will low-key be very good. But it's the fact that he's kind of like RNG based. Cause like he's basically relying on RNG basically. Cause you're not guaranteed to get epic cards every time you use them. But like yeah, just remove like the freaking remove the commons or like the rare cards, and just let him have like all rare. Like bruh, if they're gonna buff him someday, just make him have a pre-fight ability where like you can select what cards you want. Boom, problem solved. It'd make him a lot better, and probably bump up his numbers too. But otherwise, he's perfectly rated as he is. Red Guardian, yeah, I'd definitely say underrated. Weapon X, perfectly rated. Well, nah, I say he's perfectly rated. Hand Monkey for sure underrated. For sure underrated. I love this dude. Tigra, perfectly rated, I guess. This dude, I say perfectly rated. I'm not really a fan of using him that much. I have him, and he's also one of those types of characters where like I don't understand why people put him in like the top 5, top 10 tech. Sasquatch, yep, overrated. Sasquatch is just like again same thing with her, Colossus, Gambits, Sunspot. Same thing with them. He's crit reliant on his SP2. I don't like that, so that's why I think he's overrated. I think people are gonna think my reasoning is stupid, right? But at the end of the day, it is all my opinion, right? So there's probably gonna be someone in the comment section that'll probably be like, I'll probably make fun of my reasoning for it. And I'm like, hey, shit, you can make fun of it, bro. At the end of the day, it's still my opinion. Hey, like you can make fun of my opinion all you want, bro. Ain't gonna change the fact that I still think he's overrated at the end of the day. But then again, I'm still read the comments, so I'm still read your comments if you disagree with my reasonings or my placements. So, yeah, I mean, I am an open-minded person at the end of the day. So, again, I can still change my mind. So, again, if you disagree with any placements here, I'll read your comments and see if I'll change my mind. But if not, good try though. All right, Airwalker, perfectly rated. Dragon Man, perfectly rated. APOC is for sure perfectly rated. Well, actually, no. I could probably see Dragon Man being a bit overrated, because there are some people that I don't know. No, we'll let him stay. Professor X, super underrated for sure. Super underrated. CGR, the GOAT, perfectly rated. This dude, perfectly rated. Maybe underrated, but MSD would probably put him underrated. Dude is probably in terms of science, no, he's perfectly rated. Compared to like other science champs, yeah, he's not all that. iHulk, I will say there are some people that overrate High Hawk. Like, if he was similar to like Soak, where like a lot of people love this dude, I'd definitely say he's overrated. But honestly, he doesn't have that much of a big fan base, so he's perfectly rated. I don't even think he's underrated either, because there are better science champions than this guy. Her, perfectly rated. Spider-Ham, the GOAT, I love him. She is perfectly rated. Strife, maybe arguably underrated. This dude is perfectly rated. He's garbage. Garbage. Well, actually, he's not completely garbage, but there could be better. But yeah, there's better Cosmics. Mangog. Mangog? Where did I put Mangog? Wait, where did I put him? Mangog, yeah, perfectly rated, I'd say, for sure. This dude, fantastic Cosmic. She might be underrated in skill class in terms of offense. Like, not comparing her to, like... Because, yeah, obviously, she's not going to be, like, in the top 10. But, like, in terms of her offensive capability use, she's kind of underrated. But, then again, we have Okoye now. So, she's kind of, like, not needed anymore. This dude is perfectly rated. Put you right there. Negative. Perfectly rated. Shang-Chi. Perfectly rated. This guy. Perfectly rated, I'd say. Maybe, actually... Now, BMXG would probably put him underrated, though. But I've used him before, but I'm not really a fan of him that much, though. She got a buff, so she's good now. Chavis... She's one of the ones where, like, I've seen the gameplay for her. I'm not impressed with her damage. That's it. I'm not really impressed with her damage. Like, I'm not impressed with the gameplay I've seen from her. That's it. Like, Vega would be sad as fuck to see her being an overrated tier. But, me personally, America Chavis, she ain't all that. I just think she's not all that. I've seen the gameplay for her. I've seen her damage. I'm just not impressed with her. That's it. She ain't all that, in my opinion. That's just what I say for her. Herc, of course, perfectly rated. Spider-Man 99. I always thought he was overrated for me personally. I personally always thought he was overrated because I genuinely think Quicksilver is better than him. Like, when him and Quicksilver were, like, released, it was crazy to see that people put him above Quicksilver, and I disagree super heavily. Even nowadays, I don't see anybody use this dude in, like, 2025 no more. Unless you're, like, Karate Mike that loves this guy. Or Camp MCOC or whatever. Or Campo. Unless you're, like, Karate Mike or Campo. Let's see. This chick... Penny Parker, I could say underrated for sure. Nimrod, nowadays he's definitely underrated because he's kind of fallen off. But I say he's maybe underrated nowadays. She is definitely. I don't even think Kitty's overrated. I don't know, or maybe should I say she's overrated because. She's kind of similar to Spot, though, because she does need those crits. I don't know, it's hard, because if I was to follow my same logic for what I said about Spot, Sasquatch, Storm Pyramid X, Gambit, Colossus, if I were to follow my same logic for what I said about them, then yeah, she'd be overrated. You know what, I'll follow my same logic. I know a lot of people are going to get mad at her. I know a lot of people get mad at me for putting Kitty Pryde up here. But... You know, I personally don't really want to put her in overrated, but to follow my same logic for what I said about Sunspot and like the ones that are like crit reliant, yeah, I'm putting her in overrated just to follow my logic. That's it. Just to be consistent with my logic. Anti-Venom, definitely underrated. Null, fantastic character. Icarus, perfectly rated. Nobody uses this dude. Low-key underrated on offense. She's kind of underrated for sure. Perfectly rated where he's at. Sauron. He doesn't really have much. I've seen gameplay for him. I'm not really impressed by much. So this dude, low key, same thing with Sauron. I'm not really impressed with like the gameplay I've seen. She is definitely perfectly rated. This dude is for sure perfectly rated. He needs a buff. Captain Britain. That's her actual name. But I like to call her Captain British just to be funny. I don't know. Captain British. Slightly underrated. Maybe underrated. Maybe underrated. But I can see her being also perfectly rated. Omega Sentinel. She's perfectly rated. Black Cat. Yeah, perfectly rated for sure. Scorpion. Perfectly rated. Rintra. in my opinion, overrated. Because again, crit reliant on SP2. If he doesn't crit, then like, yeah, he makes me sad. Because keep in mind, I've used some of these champions on offense too. Like, I use some of these champions myself, and like, I'd be disappointed in them, bro. Because I know I play them correctly too, right? But like, especially the crit reliant champions, like, I don't like using them on offense, bro. Because like, bro, if his crit chance on his SP2 was guaranteed, I would definitely put him in perfectly rated. If like, bro, if they simply just made, if all Kabam simply did for Rintra was make his SP2 a guaranteed crit, I would have no beef with this dude at all. But it's mainly because of the fact that he's crit reliant on his SP2. I cannot see. I just don't get why he's in like top 5 mystics. Because he has fantastic utility. It's just my only main beef with this dude is just his crit reliance. That's it. His crit reliance is my main beef with this guy. That's why I can never agree with him being like perfectly rated. And I know a lot of people are gonna be mad at me for Rintra. Wong, perfectly, actually, well, he is kind of a long form champion, because I could probably see him being underrated, low key. So, I don't know. I see he's kind of underrated. What's this dude's name again? Hulkling. Yeah, Hulkling perfectly rated. He's cool. Wiccan, definitely underrated in the Mystic class. Gore is for sure underrated in Cosmic. Valkyrie nowadays is probably underrated. Nowadays, she is underrated. This dude, he's perfectly rated. Quicksilver for sure massively underrated. And I love this dude. Like, bro, I'm literally biased for Quicksilver. I'm super, super biased. I'm letting you guys know, I'm biased against Quicksilver. I love this dude. He's one of my favorite champions in the game to play. And I think he's super underrated. He's super underrated. As much as I would love to put him perfectly rated, nowadays, people underrate the shit out of this guy, bro. It's crazy. Idum for sure underrated. I don't really get the Idum hate. I actually like Idum, but whatever. Titania, I think she's kind of overrated personally. I'm not really a big fan of her damage. Because again, gameplay I've seen her, not really impressive. Like, it's not really impressive to me. She's one of the ones where, like, I've seen the gameplay for her, I use her myself, I'm not really impressed with her damage. She has cool utility though, but that's just it. Spy Supreme, definitely underrated, I guess. You know, personally, I don't really care for him. Actually, no, I'd say he's perfectly rated. Because there are a lot more better mystics than him. So, Spot, someone like Legacy would probably say he's underrated, but I think he's perfectly rated. I can see him being overrated though, because I think Legacy overrates the shit out of this guy for sure. Like, Legacy overrates the hell out of this guy, but otherwise he's solid. Atuma, in terms of offense, I think he's perfectly rated. This guy is definitely underrated. She's definitely kinda underrated. Yeah, I see she's kinda underrated compared to Tech class. She is perfectly rated. She is low-key underrated. This dude is fantastically perfectly rated. Zemo. I could kind of see him overrated. I don't know. Yeah, I could kind of see him being overrated. Yeah. I'm not really a fan of his damage output. That's just it. I'm not really a fan of his damage. That's it. So hence, I could kind of see him being overrated. Phantom Man or Ant-Man from the future. Perfectly rated. Her. I don't know. Because I'd say when she first came out, she was overrated. But nowadays, I don't see much people talk about her anymore. I feel like on release, to me, she was overrated. When she first released. When she first came out, it was exposed to like a lot of people. Viv, definitely underrated. Kate Bishop is pretty rated. Sandman, pretty underrated. Shocker, perfectly rated. Spider-Man, underrated. Adam Warlock, perfectly rated. She's definitely underrated. She is definitely perfectly rated because I think she's mediocre as a character. I'm not gonna lie. Not as a character. As a champion, mediocre. I do think she's also overrated, maybe. Actually, in fact, I'll put her overrated for sure. I definitely think she's overrated because I think there's better mutants than her. What's that dude's name? Andy? Like that MCOC player, Andy? That dude's definitely gonna be sad as hell for where I put Danny, but who cares? Lady Deathstrike for sure underrated in the tech class. Kindred perfectly rated. He's not even that good on offense. Silk, yeah, I'm definitely gonna piss off Silk players, but I don't care, bro. Silk's super overrated. Like I said, I seen the deep dive. I seen the gameplay. I use her myself. I'm not a fan of her damage output. That's just it. I'm not a fan of her damage output. I just think there's better science champions than her. Simple. So I think she's overrated for those reasons for me. I'm not a fan of her damage output. I think there's better. Simple. Vox, he's perfectly rated. Photon, she's fine for now. I can see her being overrated on offense because she's kind of boring to play. I can't lie, but I'll put her perfectly rated. Iron Man, perfectly rated. Gladiator, perfectly rated. Werewolf by Night, I see perfectly rated for now. I think he's kind of starting to fall off though, so he could kind of slowly move back to underrated because he might be falling off soon. Morbius, I think he's perfectly rated. Kushala, perfectly rated. What's her name again? Chilith. I hope I said her name right. Perfectly rated. Maestro on offense wise, perfectly rated. This dude, Onslaught. Yeah, no explanations for this guy. Some people overrate her. I ain't gonna lie, but I think she's perfectly rated. White Tiger, perfectly rated. Bullseye, he's overrated on offense because he doesn't really do anything unique. But otherwise, I won't put him overrated, I guess. I mean, no, like, wait, in offense, though, I guess I could probably see him being, like, overrated. But, wait, where did I put him? I guess for now, I just put him perfectly rated. Why not? Ironheart, for sure, underrated. She is probably underrated. Serpent is perfectly rated, way overtuned. This dude definitely overrated on offense. Again, I'm not impressed by the gameplay I've seen. Plus, better Mystics. But again, not impressed with the gameplay. Not impressed with the damage. That's it. Spartan Punk, Allison. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Allison Edits, you overrate this guy. I'm sorry. I'll say Allison Edits overrates him, in my opinion. Similar thing with what's his name? Destroyer. I'm not a fan of his damage output. I'm not really a fan of his damage. That's it. I'm not really impressed with any gameplay I've seen of him. Prowler. Prowler is kind of overrated to me. I can't lie. I kind of see. For me, Prowler is kind of overrated for me. I don't know. To me, he's kind of overrated. So I'll put him there. He's overrated for me. Negasonic, perfectly rated. Serious Savo got buffed. She's good now, so she's definitely perfectly rated. He's definitely underrated in Cosmic class. Super underrated for sure. And he's also one of my favorite champions to play as well. Him and Quicksilver, both speedster type characters. And so many people underrate the shit out of this guy just because people think he's a long form champion. Because yes, he can be used for long form, but he can be used in questing. He can kind of cook in battlegrounds too, depending on the meta as well. He can be used for Alliance War, Alliance Quest. So he can kind of be used in any game mode. Because like people think he's bad for battlegrounds, but like he can actually be pretty decent for battlegrounds sometimes. And then what's his name? Arcade, perfectly rated. This dude, perfectly rated. He's gotta get buffed. Leader is ass. He's ass. Deadpool, perfectly rated. And this dude's perfectly rated. I can see him kind of being underrated if you love the dude, like MSD. This dude is for sure perfectly rated, I'd say. And Tantris, perfectly rated. Shathra, perfectly rated. Count Nefaria, perfectly rated. Scream, perfectly rated. I personally think Jack-O-Lantern's overrated for me because I'm not a fan of his damage output. I'm not a fan of Jack-O-Lantern's damage. That's just me personally. She's perfectly rated. Then what else? She's probably underrated. Nah, I say she's perfectly rated because there are a lot more better science champions than her. Dazzler, perfectly rated. I slightly think she's overrated because I don't really like her playstyle. I'm not a fan of her playstyle. I know how to use her. And she does decent damage, but I'm not personally a fan of her. That's it. I don't like her playstyle. So I think she's overrated for me. Like, I don't think she's all that. I ain't gonna lie. She is she's definitely perfectly rated. And this guy, perfectly rated. Perfectly rated. So, ignoring this damn title, yeah, let's just, I don't know, unless I do some expect element where I'm like, I don't know, freaking, like, you know, freaking, let me inspect this title, bro. Let's change this real quick. MCOC, all champions that I think are overrated tier list. All champions that I think are overrated tier list. Yeah, there you go. That I think are overrated. Yeah, there you go. There you go. All champions that I think are overrated tier list. There you go. Overrated or perfectly rated or underrated. Yeah. So this is basically the entire list. Like I said, I did try explaining all my reasonings for like every champion for why I put them there. Oh, I probably didn't explain all my reasoning for some of them, like probably like a few. But I generally tried to like explain every champion, cause like this is like what 250 champions in here. I don't know. I have to probably do a count to see how much there is. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, this is basically all in my opinion the champions that I think are overrated, perfectly rated, and underrated. So nonetheless, you know, you can go to the comment section. You can yell at me how I'm wrong, or like why Chavis shouldn't be overrated. You like, yeah, whatever. Like, yeah, like at the end of the day, like if you disagree with anything here, yeah, go to the comment section. Try to prove me wrong. I'll listen to your comments. Like I'm gonna start reading all comments now for sure. Like trust me, I'm gonna start reading comments from now on. I'm planning on actually like reading comments. That's what I'm gonna start doing. Like I will actually read your comment. I'm gonna read every comment, and yeah, I'll also put a heart by your comment. Like I also like to put hearts on like every comment I see, just to let people know that I see your comment. I read it. As a way to notify you that like yes, I read your comment. I see what you said. But yeah, regardless, yeah, let me know what you guys think of my tier list. I'm probably gonna get a lot of haters, especially for like where I put the overrated ones. But at the end of the day, hey, it's my tier list, my nigga. It's my tier list. It's my tier list. At the end of the day, you can't get mad at nigga's own opinion because we play this game subjectively. At the end, it's subjective. So relax, relax. I will read your comment though. Just be civil, all right? Just be civil. I'll read your comment. Try to prove me wrong, and if your reasoning's convincing enough, I'll change my mind about certain champions. Shit, I might even do a part 2. I might do part 2 maybe next year. Who knows? I might do part 2 maybe a few years down the road to see where I put these characters at, because you know some characters got buffed, and yeah. But otherwise, yeah, W video. Yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.